Oh, we're back, baby. Welcome into another episode. Sports Gambling with Moneyline Monaco appreciates you joining me. May 2nd, Friday, and we are going full coast to coast on the pod, on the program. Lakers off an L, Knicks off a dub. Thoughts on both, betting reactions, and 2 cents on more so the Knicks as they get into the Celtics. As we dive in, please subscribe, rate, review. If you enjoy the show, goes a long way. We were all over. If you follow me on social at Moneyline Monaco, Knicks on the money line Thursday night. Emotional purchase, live purchase, 6-1. The Brunson burner humming, cooking in the Cranston lab. But we went down 2 sleeps ago, and it took me a sleep to get off too high of a Laker emotional reaction to a Lakers in 5 Ant-Man display of grown man alpha with a reshuffled deck and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and all things emotional for the LA Lakers. How my guy Ocean on, who's actually in Africa right now with Dion Cole internationally touring. And if you go back to last episode, I do want to plug it because a lot of what he spoke on with the Lakers was spot on. And as much as I want to start with the New York Knicks and the positive of a Jalen Brunson Decker, how are you on a Friday? Detroit basketball. Little Caesar still hasn't tweeted. But we got to go to the Lakers. I said it with my guy, Ocean. I'm going to say it again. This is a Fokker circle of trust problem. Yes, they need a lively Gafford, Mark Williams trolling, piece plural for a Luka Doncic type double tap Y, shout out 2K on the Xbox, lobs, and just Luka needs bigs and they need perimeter, on the block length for so many said reasons, and Minnesota exposed them. But the larger issue, I feel, and the much more important thing to speak on with the LA Lakers, and I just haven't heard it enough, is what's going on with the Fokker Circle of Trust. Now, Friday morning, May 2nd, Lakers in Cancun, watching Brunson become the second player ever to ink 40 plus 5 dimes on a road closeout game to Michael Jordan. And Laker fans are reminded game 4, the King James himself, they call him, palling around with Conley and Anthony Edwards smiling. Then we get a second disengaged fourth quarter from the man. Then we watch JJ not play Jackson Hayes a minute. Rudy Gobert goes for over 20 rebounds. I don't even want to talk about his points. Over 20 rebounds. And Dalton Connect, who was debunked from the trade, who was getting real minutes, real rotation minutes in April, didn't see the floor. Gabe Vincent's throwing up bagels like he's in East Village on a Sunday morning. Bagels, plural. I got to watch Dorian Finney-Smith, who hasn't played a lick of offense since he's been in the other borough. The reality is you have a 40-year-old coach, you have a 40-year-old man making top dollar, and someone else that doesn't want to be there as your leaders. My clip went viral. I encourage you to check it out. Luka Doncic, 2.5 to go. Not even a full 2-possession game. Blows a bunny, misses a layup, sits there like an Italy Serie A player for Napoli and screams at the ref, and Edwards goes the other way. And if you have to watch Austin Reeves play defense in the playoffs with your glasses on, you end up taking your glasses off. And he goes right by Austin Reeves, 4-point swing, there's your ball game. Lakers never recover. Period. And I'm watching JJ Redick's body language, looking at Luka. He's appalled. JJ Redick, the player, would be appalled. Why? Because he's a worker and a grinder. JJ Redick got to the league because he honed his skills. Top of his craft, honed his skills. LeBron, gifted athlete, to his credit, worked on his game more than 99% of the league, and that's why he's in the GOAT conversation. Luka Doncic, land me on that lily pad, because we're right back down the chutes and ladder board in Hollywood. You don't think this team's starting from square one? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Nico Harrison continues to deserve an apology and enjoy a crepe in Dallas, fits free, and is still laughing. I mean, you go to this comment section of mine on Moneyline Monaco Instagram, and the support for Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks is almost incomprehensible. The switch up is flabbergasting. But back to the Luka element, he wasn't in shape. I saw a video, it's gone viral on Twitter, X, of Luka, who's 26 years old, by the way, looks like, and the comment is like, before the American food, looks like this was 2 presidential terms ago. This was not even 1,000 days ago. And it's really hard to sit here and go, all right, so here's the Lakers. Let's just wrap this up because I could go on and on and on. You have a coach that's barking back in a press conference, defending his coaching, saying he doesn't lean on his staff, and then against every fan coach in the entire world who says, put in a big after the 12th Rudy Gobert rebound and the 7th offensive one. Nah, I'm just going to be sticking to my script that isn't working. Nobody was hitting perimeter shots. Several games in that series for the Lakers. Look at Luka Doncic's game 4 stat line and look no further. 2 dimes. And they don't put in connect. It's not a consideration. Maxi Kleber for a feel good. What is this, a buddy sleepover in 2nd grade? He needs his friend there who's got the inhaler? Are you joking? What I'm saying is nobody called out Luka for his international football complaining. LeBron needed to be challenged by his coach for showing up in the 4th and taking the leadership role because it's still his team, people. It's LeBron James' team. Why? Because he's the pseudo GM. He handpicked the coach. He always has a hand in the assets. He has a reason for 2 guys on the roster. Yada, yada on that. It's on LeBron. Also, adult male conversation. He's the oldest in the realm, I hate to say it. It's almost inconceivable LeBron didn't step up. He needed to have harsh words with JJ Redick. JJ Redick does not look like a very approachable head coach. He looks like he's several sleeps removed from a player, and he's being a player in a huddle when he needs to be a Gerald Butler leader of 300 men. You start to go down the line, Spoelstra, adult. Chris Finch, adult. It is real frustrating. And I'm not saying JJ's not capable. I'm just saying pack a lunch. Pack a lunch like you're fighting an Irishman on a Tuesday. You're going to be here for a while. It's going to take a while. Or LeBron has an opportunity here. Take a pay cut. You're a billionaire. I don't know why I'm getting pushback on it. He went for $15 million, him, Bosch, and Wade, and sacrificed for a ring. So then we're going to do, when you're a billionaire, when you're set up for generations, the max dollar, let me get over 50 million, but not show up in the 4th. And then if you are going to take top dollar, then we do need you to be the coach. We need you to step out of the way as the GM, please. And we need everybody to be all in on how to support Luka to where he gets back to in his prime form. There's no excuse at 26 years old where he should be lollygagging up and down the court. And my buddy Ocean said it, and it's spot on. The Lakers are not the Cleveland Browns. They're not a low self-esteem franchise. They've had stars come in. They've had stars come out. Oh, by the way, it's Hollywood. You don't think another star's around the corner? They're in the way. They're not about Lakers basketball, which is winning basketball, which hasn't happened since a Mickey Mouse ring in the bubble, which, yeah, it counts. But yeah, you can make a case. None of that matters. Like the Dodgers ring against the Rays with no fans. Come on, man. Now you got to give the Bucks a little bit. There were fans in the stadium for the Super Bowl. But the same full court press thing in the bubble as the cachet of the rest of the rings, it means more? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Go listen to bubble stories about how many guys were not focused on basketball and how nuts life was in that moment. So that, my observation was, and I made money during that run, the best player coaches won everything. Look at the Dodgers. Tom Brady, best player coach. LeBron, best player coach. Because there was no extracurricular going on. Anyways, back to the present. LeBron, I'm only coming down on him, and I don't come down on him often because it's incredibly frustrating what went down. And if you take $50-something million, you're not competing for a championship. You're not allowed to ask him for a pay cut. Bounced in the first round again. Never happened since the 00s during the flip phone era. Yeah, needs to get brought up. I'm sorry. Somebody's got to say it. Now on to the Knicks. Everything the New York Knicks are, the Los Angeles Lakers are not. The Knicks get criticism on the national narrative. They're a top 3 team off a loss, straight up fact, not fiction on your noggin. The Lakers exposed themselves as a prima donna international Champions League a football team not ready. Pick a coach, pick a player, pick anybody. The Knicks, down when anyone would have probably said, let's pack it in. I mean, look at the Warriors. Let's just call it what it is, babes. Go ahead and pack it in the middle of the third. These boys went the Tibbs full court press route and battled back down 7 late. And a Jalen Brunson, I'll say it again, second man to Jordan to go for a 40-piece 5 times in a game. How you feeling on the road ever in the history of the league? Jalen Brunson, ironically, the Bette Midler understudy, we're always looking for a Seinfeld plug, to Luka Doncic. And the leader that Jalen Brunson is, and what he exercised last night in front of the whole basketball world with a cherry on top of a Thompson twin, somebody go check on somebody, shows you everything that this Knicks team is around their leader. Captain Clutch delivers again, and the New York Knicks, who are getting dogged and dragged at 6-1, pick a shop, any shop at the sports book to beat the Celtics, who are SoCal soft, my wrist, my knee, my back. They're one injury away while Al Horford's halfway to Sizzler for a 4:00 dinner away from this conversation. And this line for the Knicks-Celtics series is flat out mispriced. But yada, yada on that. The Knicks lose, they come back, they bounce back. They get chirped, Jalen's over-dribbling. Ridiculous. Go look at his assists. Go look at his assists in the Pistons series. This guy studied under Luka Doncic and outplayed Luka Doncic every single game in their respective first rounds. And one is on the top of Stephen A's list on a Friday morning, and the other is sapping a European beer, already one nap in at 2:30 Pacific. The Lakers have become the butt end of the joke, and the New York Knicks have become the standard. And if you think I'm kidding, just let it play out a little more. Because Jalen Brunson's bringing an NBA championship to New York City. And I've been at the network hosting a show for 4 years. I've seen it all. I watched this team culture build, dance against the Hawks, first round of the playoffs, get to the second, shout out Pacers, game 7, come back, reshuffle the deck, back-to-back 50-win seasons. Hasn't happened since you know how many decades, plural. And here they are, down 7 late. And you think Detroit is not a tough place to play basketball? Come on now. And the Lakers, 90% of the betting public was backed by. They didn't show up. They barely showed out. They blamed everybody but themselves. They have only themselves to look at. On a non-feel-good Friday, the only thing going down in Hollywood is the SoCal sun. Enjoy your vitamin D, drink your coffee on an L, and I would highly suggest to JJ Redick, it's time to meditate. And it's time to take yourself a little less serious. Let's just call it what it is. Because if there was even an ounce of that reporter getting under his skin, which could have been butterfly effect to him not playing the proper rotations and a win or go home moment, that's immaturity, that's ego. That's why I call out the Fokker Circle of Trust. Whereas the New York Knicks are a Nova-built family. You got Rick, you got Tibbs. These guys know each other decades. And they know that their quarterback can be trusted on a Patrick Mahomes drive when needed. And Jalen Brunson changed the entire narrative. I want you to look at the New York Knicks as the standard for the Los Angeles Lakers, who are lost at sea, who are being convinced to run back a sequel, and nobody watched the first one. I've never, ever been so frustrated. This includes Smush Parker with the Los Angeles Lakers. Everyone enjoying their breakfast except for the purple and gold. And I'm out of here, man. I'm irate. And we will see you next show. Moneyline Monaco podcast. Ta-ta real smooth.